Today, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into my pantry, sisters, so you can see what I keep on hand to stay consistent with the Starch Solution. Day 8 of getting into our reset, we're going to check the pantry out. But first, our angel cards. So let's see what the cards are saying today. Deep breath. Getting our collective energy together. Choosing to live this most healthy, vibrant life together, you guys. I love it. Communication. I love this, you guys. This goes right in line with all of our cards up until this point, right? We've talked about being truthful, communicating with ourselves, and communicating with others, letting others know that we are following this whole food, plant-based, no oil, low-fat lifestyle, and this is the way we're eating and living now. Putting that out, saying it out of our mouth, really allows others to step up and support us in this way of eating and living. And it's not to put our lifestyle choice onto them. It's just to let them know, hey, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to be eating a little bit differently. So communication is so key, you guys, and it really paves the way for us to just eat this lifestyle and live with ease around it. All right, day 8 reset. Week 2 has started. Communication is the word for the day. So let's get into my pantry and let's see what this pantry is communicating to us. I'm going to bring you up close and personal in my pantry. I have to warn you, there are foods in there. Family members do not eat Starch Solution, so there are foods in there that are not Starch Solution friendly, and I don't eat those foods. So I really just have my shelves that I go to, and everything else, it's like I don't even see it anymore. It's my dream one day to have one of those pantries that have all those glass jars with the fancy lids, but that's not the case. Right now, this is what I got, and this is what I go to get what I need to eat. On the top shelf, I have Better Than Bouillon. It really adds flavor, so I make sure I have this on hand. Some things I just love making with this broth. So I have these two that I go to make soup, stews, beans, all of those things that I eat with my starches. Have to have the veggie broth, and also sauteing veggies, mushrooms, onions, all that. I love having tea in my pantry. Right now I'm all about the bedtime tea, so I've been drinking this with lemon. I absolutely love it. And another one I haven't mentioned is my mint tea. I do like drinking mint tea, and this is another one I can drink plain with no milk or no plant milk or anything in it. So I love the mint tea. This is a Tazo brand, but really mint tea, you can't go wrong, you guys. Vinegars, I love having my apple cider vinegar. I use this for the kale and collards and also for dressings. This is a good one to use in a pinch if you don't have balsamic. My balsamic vinegar, this is the one I got from Kirkland. I love this. I have also a white balsamic that I like. Soy sauce, I use this in dressings and stir fries. And mustards. I love having mustards. When I run out of Dijon mustard, I am not a happy girl. So usually when I go to the grocery store, I'll pick up one Dijon mustard just so I continuously have it. So mustards are key for me. You know I love my beans, you guys. So I definitely have my beans right here. I have pinto beans, lentils, Great Northern beans. Ooh, this is my last bag, so I need to get more of those. I have black lentils because I like making the red and black lentil chili. That is so good. I'm actually going to take these pinto beans out because I think I'm going to do the piñata beans again. Those are so good, and I'm almost out. I need to have a pot of beans going. And that's one thing I do. I always have a pot of beans that's ready in my fridge. That helps to keep me so I have a meal ready to go at all times. Rice is a big one for me. I have long grain brown rice I have in here. I love putting nutritional yeast. I'll do it on the roasted chickpeas or the tofu cubes. It just adds a little crispiness and crunchiness to the outside. This can also be a good one just to sprinkle over veggies or even just a meal, a potato. Yeah, anything. Nutritional yeast can have that little zing if you like the flavor. Down at the bottom, I have the canned. So I have canned tomatoes canned beans. I like to have the canned beans on hand because if I just want to make a quick meal, like I have a potato, I have some black beans, I can just put some spices in with the beans, cut up a potato, have it put the beans over a potato and have some non-starchy veggies, and there's a meal right there. Like, it's so easy, you guys. So having those canned beans is really important just to throw meals together if I find myself in a pinch. For me, the beans just add that extra something to either potato or rice that makes it like I'm having just a treat meal, a complete meal. I have my oatmeal in here. This is on the other side because everybody eats oatmeal in the morning. That's our go-to breakfast for everyone in the house. So my rolled oats are here, but I also have at the bottom 2 bags of rolled oats that I just stock. Those are like the mustard. When I go to Costco, I'll buy a bag of rolled oats. The other thing I keep are salsas. I like having salsa, so I do have one in the fridge that's like a refrigerated salsa, but in the pantry, it's nice to have the shelf-stable salsas, and these are good. Like I said, that meal with beans and potatoes, I can just put some salsa over it to add a little zing, and yeah, there we go. I like to have the Rotel tomatoes because I put this in my super simple tortilla soup. That's another meal. So I have the canned beans, the Rotel, and spices and frozen corn, and I have my super simple tortilla soup. I can throw some rice in there. It's a complete meal, and then I just add veggies to it. I could even just put in some spinach or some kale into that soup if I wanted to really plus up the veggies in the soup. And artichoke hearts, I like having these in my salad, so I buy these once in a while. I don't usually have them in here, but once in a while I'll buy them just as a little treat. And the most important things, well, 2 of them, 2 of the most important things. One are my potatoes. I have to have my potatoes, you guys. These are so important for satiety. And I really don't talk about potatoes enough, but I eat potatoes usually 9 times out of 10, even higher than that. 98% of the time, I'm eating potatoes 1 to 2 meals a day or in between meals. It's my go-to meal that I bring when I'm outside of the house. I'll just bring a potato and some veggies. Like, potatoes are so good for satiety. They're filling. They have that mouthfeel. And you know what, you guys? If you just eat potatoes, if you're craving something and you think, oh my gosh, what's wrong? I'm craving this thing. Get yourself 2 potatoes. Eat the potatoes. Try it out. An experiment, right? The next time you have a little craving, get a couple potatoes, microwave them or get them how you like them, and eat those 2 potatoes. And then if you have the yellow potatoes, get 3 or 4 because sometimes they're smaller. The other thing I keep that's on the other side of the pantry, onions. And I have every kind of onion in there, you guys. I have the sweet red onions, I have yellow onions, and I have white onions. So I love my onions, so I like to have onions available. And I use onion really as a flavor. I put it in every single bean recipe, every single soup recipe that I make. Have to have an onion. All right, sisters, that's it for the pantry. As long as I have those few staples, I'm good to go. And I pretty much stick to the same things that I'm re-bringing back into the house once they run out. The potatoes, the onions, the rice, oatmeal, the beans, like those are what I stick to. And as long as I have those, I can make a meal in a minute. Sometimes it takes a little longer than a minute for the beans to cook, but not the canned beans. And then add some salsa on there. Yum. Next, I want to show you one more spot in my kitchen that is just I have to have. I started doing this in our last house and it has become a non-negotiable for me. I will give up drawer space for this, you guys, because I need my spices. Have to have the spices. And so I have a dedicated drawer that I put spices in, and that's what I go to. And just having them laying flat so I can see the spices face up is a game changer. Makes them easy to go to. I don't mind digging through the spices because I don't have to dig. They're right out there. So I just love them, love having them ready to go. And there is my seasoning drawer. I just love it. All right, sisters. So having these staples in the pantry and the seasonings available, we begin to change the way we think about creating a meal. It almost becomes like we're creating components for a meal and then putting those components together. So I have that big bag of rice in there. If I'm out of cooked rice in the fridge, then I just put it in the rice cooker, cook a pot of rice, and then that's prepped and ready to go in the fridge. I have those cans of beans, but I also have the dry beans. So if I'm out of a pot of beans in the fridge, then I'll usually throw those in the slow cooker or the Instapot and have those available so that I have, there we go, rice, beans in the fridge, and then I have my non-starchy veggies in the fridge, and I'll get to that another day. We'll get into the fridge, but I'll have non-starchy veggies in the fridge or even the freezer. If I'm really in a pinch, I can just heat those up and I have a meal ready to go. So keeping these staples on hand at all times really makes it so we start thinking about our meals and we know, okay, it's not what do I need to make, it's just that I need to make it and have it prepped and ready to go. It leads to success in this way of eating and living, and that's what we're doing, right? We're doing things that support ourselves so that we can root this way of eating and living in our lives for good and live, what is it? Our most healthy, vibrant, energetic life. I love it, sisters, and I love you so much. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Day 8 of our reset. Let's keep this momentum going. And our word, communication. I love it. So much love, sisters. Mwah. I will see you next time.